Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Max Talks. This is a video for for giving you an insight over a few stocks which are picked by me as the Diwali picks for 2021, which can perform going forward better. As usual, general disclaimer is that there is no recommendation now that is placed here and only for educational purposes. Make your own research before investing. And me or our company or Geojit will not be held liable for anything, that is given here, because share price is subject to volatility and only it is the buyer beware kind of a thing. So the investor has to do his research and take a call. So in general index எப்படி இருக்கலாம் வர்ற வருடத்துக்கு சாமாத் 2078 இப்போ இண்டெக்ஸ் 60,000 பிஎஸ்சி நான் பேசுறேன். ஸோ பிஎஸ்சி 60,000 பாயிண்ட்ல இருக்கு. பிஎஸ்சியினுடைய கடந்த வருடத்துல மார்ச் 2020 25,500 கிட்டத்தட்ட 25,000 பாயிண்ட் வரைக்கும் because of the pandemic the markets went down and flared up very sharply, which actually nobody expected, to a level of 60,000. Now it went up to a high of 62,500 and almost 150% is done from its low. Totally, it is 250%, but the rise is 150%. Normally in a bull market, even that can go up to 161.8%. But what is in store for the index, for the indices for the next 1 year? So Nifty 22 October data was given here. Nifty has delivered 42%. Sensex is around 40.5%. Bank Nifty is also around 42.5%. Rather, some of the indices have outperformed, like IT, which is 66%. It has delivered a maximum move. And Nifty Midcap 100, it is 71%. It has been. And you could see metal is a great performer out of the all indices with 115% rise. So 2022, we are entering into a critical year because last 2 years the markets have gone considerably from its lows, even though maybe 40% of the stocks have not yet reached their 1-year high. And in fact, maybe 60% of the stocks have not hit their all-time high. To speak it generally, not even though accurately. But a lot of stocks from its lows last year have delivered an astonishing 1,000% or more. And investors have made very good money. A lot of demat accounts are being opened every day. So far, 5 crore demat accounts are opened in India. Almost, I think, maybe 5 to 7 times more than what it was some 5 years back. And this trend is going to continue because of, the new investors who are very eager to enter into the market, who doesn't know what the market is and how the markets normally behave, how Mr. Market will behave and all. But the interest of the investors are at its high, and the trend might likely continue, as the long-term trend is very, very bullish for India because of various factors. The next 10 years will be, the next decade will be for India. See, everybody is asserting now. We should, I'm also thinking that way by looking at the current political, social, economical scenario of India. And the economy is all set to grow rapidly from here on. We are already seeing maybe around 8.5% of GDP growth and an average of barring last year. And a few years, actually, it went down to even 5.5%, but then bounced back sharply. And looking at the government's initiative in the recent years, after the second term of the current government, a lot of policy changes have been made. Now, we all know that right from demonetization, introduction of GST, introducing labor reforms, corporate tax reduction, it is a major boost to the markets and for the economy. And infra push and everything is there. So currently India is at the crossroads of $3.5 trillion and all set to go up to $10 trillion over the next 7-8 years time, what it is being predicted now. So this is the rally one should not miss and should not be worrying about, because now the markets have corrected a little bit from its top, even though the Sensex has corrected by only 5-6%. The stocks, a lot of stocks are corrected by maybe 30% or more. But this is a healthy correction in a big bull market, because the prices have risen that much fast in the last 1.5 years. So this is the time for a pause, time-based correction. In fact, price-based correction is also there. So both might play going forward, and hence I perceive, this is my only my opinion and may go wrong also. 2022 will be a year of negative returns for the indices, but particular stocks will always perform exceptionally well. And it is our duty to find out that kind of stocks and that kind of a sector. By entering into those stocks, we could manage well 2022. What are the factors that might influence the markets going forward is what I've given. So in two ways, the positives and the negatives. The biggest positive which we have seen after pandemic is China plus one factor. Each and every country is started thinking, China negatively, and hence trying to opt out in another country which could support their nation for their business, for their imports as well as exports. And apart from China, now India is the second largest in terms of population, the biggest countries in the world, 140 crores of population, and almost 75% of younger population, very high as compared to other countries in the world. And with the help of all these younger population, their intellectual properties, because India is having the highest number of IT professionals who are working all over the world. And with this kind of knowledge, India is all set to grow in an unexpected lines in the next 15-20 years, and arguably the best economy in the world in the next 15 years, for this at least 15 years. So China plus one, and then faster recovery after pandemic. This GDP is telling us this figure. Currently, GDP is around 10% in the last quarter, and it is going to be maintained at around 8 to 9%. So by far, a fastest economy, if you take US, the growth is around 1.5% only, where the Japan is still remaining flat. The third one is record vaccinations. All of us are aware that it has crossed 100 crore, and hence it is a big positive for the economy. Excellent corporate performance. See, after all, after a long period of maybe 10 years or more, the capex of India is started picking up, because this was expected right for the last 10 years, but not happened, is ultimately started switching its gears, changing its gears. So corporate performance is looking very good, irrespective of this pandemic, and a lot of takeovers, amalgamations, a lot of new startups, which is a new generation, business, fintech, edtech kind of companies are entering into, this market. All of these items are hinting a super duper growth for India. So a lot of unicorns are born, and still, if we compare India with the US, some of the stocks like Google, Amazon, Apple, and in fact Microsoft, these are all very big, very big. You cannot even imagine a company of that sort in India, but then in the next 10, 15, 20 years, this would easily be created. I strongly believe into. So corporate performance is very good in the past and expected to be fantastic going forward with the kind of initiatives the companies and also the governments have taken. As told, the next point is consumption by huge population. The 140 crore population will yearn for themselves and for their government by paying taxes, and GST figures are reaching 1.3 lakh crore in the last month, which indicates the highest collection, the highest collection in the last, after GST being introduced. So, which indicates all the industry is turning towards organized, and the inorganized sector is, the portion of the unorganized is getting down, is reduced. So these are all positives for the government point of view and also for the markets. Always we know that India is a self-sufficient economy, whatever the products that are being produced domestically, the local population will consume it. Even if you take example, tea, 75% of the production is being consumed by Indian consumers. Only 1/4 of it is being exported. So our requirement is more. In that way, even without the help of any export or any country, India can grow. That sounds well now. Okay, then heavy foreign inflow of funds. Actually, FPIs, FAIs, these guys go and come. But then, as Chris Wood last week pointed out, Mr. Chris Wood, if any economy, even if the markets, any markets, even if it comes down heavily, one markets where we are not interested in selling equities is India. What a word. So very much good to hear. So this FIIs and FPIs, even though sell for the short-term taking profits, will come aggressively, and a lot of fund, maybe to the tune of 150 billion, is expected to come in the short run, which will fuel the rally. Growth is better than US bond returns. Yeah, bond returns is around 1.5%. But there are hundreds of stocks which have value and producing huge revenues, thereby giving a confidence that the year's tapering is started, won't see much of a fall because of intrinsic, because of very good intrinsic value, and hence the returns would be definitely higher than that of the US bonds. So these are the few positives which I that comes to my mind, and I've written it here. There may be other positives as well. So overall, India is all set to grow exponentially from here on. We are very positive on Indian markets for the next at least 20 years, with all periodical ups and downs in the economy as well as the markets. What are the negatives? Shall we go for it? Little bit. At this point in time, the valuations of stocks are a little expensive. I'm not saying the broader market, but in some cases, maybe out of 3,500 to 4,000 stocks, there may be stocks of 500, 700 stocks which are quoting a higher valuation to their intrinsic value. So which can correct in the short term. And IPOs, mispriced IPOs, rushing IPOs. When the market is bullish, a lot of companies are trying to exploit the market opportunity by coming out with IPOs at an unexpected price for their shares, which has to be taken care by SEBI, I should say. SEBI, we request SEBI to monitor all these things, because CCA is not their controller of capital issues. So a company can fix their IPO price as they wish, but it may not be good for the investor interest. The other point, so all these IPOs, whatever the IPOs that are set to come into the market, will suck into the money of the market participants. In that way, the existing stocks might come down, because by selling the existing stocks, these guys apply for IPOs. So liquidity crunch might occur. That is the point. The next one, rising crude from a low of maybe 18, now it is 90. Within 5 times, it has risen by. Just imagine. So this will affect the import bill of India. That has to be seen. So inflation might also rise in accordance with it. So that has to be managed. If inflation rises, then interest rates will also start rising. Low interest rates are one of the big positives for India, for all industries, and also for the housing or whatever it is. Low interest rates are very much positive, which I haven't mentioned here. But then if the inflation rises, the government will have no way but to increase the interest rate. So crude has to be controlled. We'll see. Positives priced in, what are the positives that we have seen in the past from the government side or from the external factors. Those things are already priced in. So that might lead to a correction. Fear of a third wave of COVID is always there, as well as US tapering, which we have already discussed. So by connecting all these positives and negatives, we can come to a conclusion that because of high valuations and rushing IPOs, the short-term trend might get bearish. In the short-term markets may come down maybe by 10-15%, not more than that. But then the stocks would come down by 20-30%, which always happens. Long-term investors should remain invested and try to accumulate the stocks as and when it is possible, by doing a rupee cost averaging model, following rupee cost averaging model, so that to make benefit of this market. Mutual fund investors are requested not to sell their mutual fund holdings either. Rather, dips on SAP basis, they will have to add more, because these kind of markets will not be repeated after 20 years. And this is an 100-year opportunity, not a decadal opportunity, but it is a lifetime opportunity for all of our investors who can make a killing in the market.